If there's one thing that jumps out to you, what's that one thing with this particular poll?
The one thing for me was that we normally say we're going to vote Democrat 90, 85, 90, 90%. That's not what we're seeing right now.
What's the number?
I think the number was 56% or something. I'm not looking at it. 56.
56?
Sure that they were going to vote. Sure they were going to vote. So part of it has to do with the enthusiasm to show up.
My name's Joe Biden, and I'm a lifetime member of the NAACP. Now, I'm from Delaware, so I go along with Delaware State being the best HBCU. Kamala keeps saying it's Howard. And I'm going Sunday to make a speech at that other place, that men's college, Morehouse.
The Black Women's Roundtable Essence and Hit Strategies released the 9th annual Power of the Sister Vote. The poll is a survey of Black women voters on the issues that matter most to them. Melanie Campbell with the Black Women's Roundtable joins us right now with the poll results. Melanie, glad to have you here. So what does it show?
It shows that for the first time that I've ever known, that Black women are in what you call the persuadable category, that we are going to have to be persuaded to vote. There's also generational divide, that the younger you are, the less likely that you say that you're going to vote, right? We know there's anxiety. Anxiety is high, all the things that, that we know around issues, but when it comes to where we stand politically, there is a lot of work that has to be done.
So when you say in the persuadable category, what's the difference from previous polls? Were previous polls that these Black women were ardent supporters voting for a Democratic candidate, and so
most definitely, right.
And so the poll now is saying what?
The poll still is saying that they would still vote majority Democrat, but right now not as high. The other is just even saying you're going to vote at all. The numbers are reflecting that there's work to be done, right? What was positive, I think, but not even where it used to. Roland, Black women tend to vote. We're not a monolith, but we are strategic, and we look at it. And we tend to be, our numbers tend to be much higher. I can't remember now, and Dr. Avis Jones-Weaver, and of course, Terrence Woodbury and Hit Strategies was our pollster, but we also had, Dr. Avis Jones-Weaver who helped with the analysis, and none of us have seen that before. So there is a difference. It's a lot to unravel, but the bottom line is the Democratic Party, if they want the Black vote to turn out for them, they're going to work for it. And if the Republicans want to take a stab at moving it, they have work to do. And Black women are not a sure thing. They're going to have to work for it. Just like they have to work for Black men and all of us, they got to work for the Black vote. Bottom line.
So when you say there's a clear generational divide, give us what that looks like, and what age range are we talking about?
Generation Z, right? Those are the youngest in their 20s. Those who are 18 to 20, I think Gen Z is 18 to 26, so I maybe have that off a little. But there's a major divide between that and what you call the more senior generation, right? Boomers. And so when you're looking at the data, which I'm sorry, I don't have it all to be able to go through it tonight, I really want to make sure that we can have, Roland, a deeper conversation about what this really means when it comes to what has to happen. You've been out here hanging from the rooftop saying, you got to work for it. This poll is another example that the folks going to have to work for our vote. And Black women are not a sure thing.
If there's one thing that jumps out to you, what's that one thing with this particular poll?
The one thing for me was that we normally say we're going to vote Democrat 90, 85, 90, 90%. That's not what we're seeing right now.
What's the number?
I think the number was 56% or something. I'm not looking at it. 56. 56? Sure that they were going to vote. Sure they were going to vote. So part of it has to do with the enthusiasm to show up.
Oh, this is awesome. This is so great. I love it. I love it. Did you see Roland Martin's face when he noticed that the black vote is very low. Oh, this is priceless. Because see, with Roland Martin, he's been kind of not believing these other polls. He didn't believe that black people are not voting or they're going to vote for Trump. He didn't want to believe it. And this is so huge. Pretty much black women they run their household. 75% of them, according to statistics, are not married. They may have a man in the house or whatever, but they're not married. And for them to say they're not going to step out, I have my thoughts on it. First off, in my opinion, Joe Biden he's not putting black people first. When he got in office, Ice Cube tried to meet with him and said, we need a plan. He dismissed it. Donald Trump spoke with him. Now, Ice Cube got a lot of backlash. However, they saw this trickling down. And I don't like the Breakfast Club. I think that is a buffoonery over there. However, they have a lot of young people listening to them. I believe. I believe. I could be wrong. But people like Charlemagne, they have the urban streets. And the way Joe Biden, the 80-year-old man, treated him was ridiculous. And people saw that. He said, the way he embarrassed him in front of the black community, he said, boy, sit down, boy. If you ain't voting for me, you ain't black. Like, that's funny. Now, it's funny to the old people because they chucking and jiving, with the massa. But black people is not with that. And we noticed it. And Charlemagne is on the radio. He says he gets a lot of callers from the street. See, a lot of these people like Roland Martin and these people that work for CNN, they're not listening. They don't have an audience for the streets. A lot of Roland Martin's audience are older. These are the ones who were, walking down Selma, in protesting and you need to vote no matter what. That's the theory that didn't work. That's the theory that baby boomers use. And the baby boomers basically told Gen X and millennials to do the same. And rightfully so that they were doing that, right? It's Clinton. It was a big turnout for Clinton and Obama. A big turnout for Obama. But now these Gen Zs are not playing around. They see the mistakes. They're watching the news. They see how Joe Biden handled Afghanistan when he got everybody out there, and they're seeing people falling off planes and stuff like that. They're seeing what's going on with Pakistan and Israel, but the main thing is the boomerang situation. People are still living at home. You have the boomerang effect. They're going to college and it's very expensive. They saw the fact that he tried to take away student loan debt and it didn't work. Unconstitutional. So these people got to live in their house with their mom because they can't afford nothing. You go to the store, because a lot of college students, they try to eat healthy. So they go to the expensive stores like Whole Foods and they realize these prices are very, very expensive. They can't buy a car. They're so broke and they see it. He's not helping. And then when it comes to black people, he's picking transgenders over black women. Now, he think he's doing something because he's doing symbolism. He hired a few symbols like Kamala Harris, which she can't speak. When did she speak? They hiding her, but they just hired her as a token person, token woman. Oh, first woman. And when he goes on the campaign trail, he's going to talk about it. He's going to say, I hired the woman in being a judge and this, that, and the other. But that's not helping nobody else. Cops are still shooting black men in the streets. Nothing's happening. But you put a crime bill in place for transgenders. You expanded Title IX, and when you expand Title IX, that means you diminish the rights that women have. You're putting transgenders first. Now it's a hate crime if anyone become a get in an argument with them. Also, the Asian community. Look what you did with the Asian community. You gave them a bill, but you wouldn't give black people a bill to protect their lives, our lives. This is what's going on, and it's great because everybody's seeing it. All these old people are acting like, oh man, oh you losing the black vote. Oh my gosh, but we've been saying this for a while, and they gaslight everybody. They said black voters, if you're a Trumper, something's wrong with you. But now they're starting to notice because Joe Biden did nothing but hurt the country. It was 1% inflation rate when he got in office. No wars. It was peace. He's giving money, $80 billion or more to Ukraine. He's giving money to Israel. He is not the person of peace. If you say, if I have anything to say about it, he's bringing more division. And they always say, "Oh, you're ruining our democracy." No, you're ruining our democracy. That's what you're doing. You're dividing the country. You're putting everybody else before us because you know this. They're not that stupid. I think they're stupid, but they're not that stupid because black people are waking up. Like, you're not, now they want something for the vote. So, and I have to give it to Tariq Nasheed and his platform, and a lot of other black platforms, and YouTube is really helping that because they're saying, don't stop voting for them. Give black people reparations. That's what they're asking for. That's what we're asking for. You know, and personally, I wasn't thinking about it until they're giving all these money to these immigrants. How are you able to commit a crime and they incentivize it? They're not sending them back. When they go to jail, they let them out because they need more votes, because they know we're not going to participate in your foolishness with our tax dollars. Chicago's a mess because you're busing people over there from Texas. And shout out to Texas and Florida. They're like, no, we're not going to have these people in here illegal. So if you want them here, I'm going to send them to your states. In New York, dumpster fire. California, dumpster fire. And all these Democrats who run these, because America is really 50 countries. Everybody got their own laws, the states. And when these Democrats shut everybody down and treated people like a king, which they always talk about Republicans doing that, but no, Republicans say, no, you're free to do what you want to do, really. We're a Democrat republic. We're about laws, but we're going to loosen up the laws in Georgia. That's why a lot of people from California who can't stand Republicans is moving into Texas. But the problem is when they move to Texas in the swing states, they still have the Democrat ideas and they're voting the same way. They don't understand that. That's what I think that's weird. If you like Texas laws, if you like Georgia laws and Florida, you like the freedom there, why are you continue to vote for the people who's taking away your rights? So this is a big deal. Trump 2024. And these guys are scared, and I love it. I love the fact that they're scared. This is good news for the Democrats. This is good news for the Republicans and the conservatives because, and I'm not even, because there's some bad Republicans as well, but they know they did wrong with this last election. They interfered with the election, and they come in here, these 80-year-old people, because I like to say we done with these 80-year-olds. We done with them. They're not in touch with this country. They don't care about us. We are the people. And we should show it at these polls. And I'm thankful to God that this is going to happen. I feel like it's going to happen. They can't hide no longer. They've been interfering with the election for the longest time. And this is the time where we have to revote. What do y'all think about this poll? The polls that's out where black women voters supporters is not trying to come out. This is really exciting. Leave a message below, and I'll see you on the next video.